A new institute is coming to Utah that not only treats lipedema, but also is on a mission to raise awareness about this disease. And joining me now for this sponsored interview is Dr. David Amron, who is the founder and medical director of the Roxbury Institute with locations in Los Angeles, California, but now right here in Murray, Utah. You are a pioneer in lipedema surgery. Let's start at the beginning, doctor. What is lipedema?
So lipedema is a fat storage condition, very under-recognized pretty much around the world, identified way back 1940 at the Mayo Clinic and kind of just ignored and forgotten about. Presents at puberty, genetically inherited, gets progressively worse, commonly pain, immobility, swelling, and many times just simply misdiagnosed as being obese or overweight.
So talk about the Roxbury Institute there in Los Angeles. It's a leading program and treatment center for lipedema in the U.S.
That is true, yeah. So the Roxbury Institute I established many years ago, and we are a comprehensive center, not only for diagnosis of lipedema, but therapy also. We have certainly surgery under me and Dr. Aria Vazurnia, and we have decongestive therapy and nutritional consultation for prevention. And I'm very proud of the program. You know, we have an amazing team at the Roxbury Institute and amazing protocols, and we get referrals from leading centers around the country, Harvard, Mayo Clinic, and now we're expanding to Utah.
Doctor, you've dedicated 30 years of your career to this. You're even writing a book about it that is soon to be released. Why so passionate?
I just love it. I honestly do. I'm so proud to be at the forefront of this disease. You know, it's perfectly in line with my skill set. My whole practice is specialized around liposuction and complicated cases. And years ago, I began to see these patients, and nobody was treating it, and nobody was doing areas like calves and ankles and forearms. And I really pioneered the techniques for these areas. So really, it was a perfect marriage between me and my skill set and these patients. And I got to tell you, patients fly from around the country, the world to see me. I've seen patients from almost every state of the union, but not only the patients, their families too. And it's the transformation that they're going through. It's I got to tell you, probably half the patients or more than that at one point in the journey actually cry, or husbands put their arms around me and hug me. So, you know, it's really what I went into medicine for. I mean, I went into medicine because I liked science and I really wanted to help people. So it's just very meaningful work.
I saw some of those pictures. You sent them over. And for these patients, it is life-changing. Is it a frustrating journey if you struggle with lipedema?
That's a great question. It's an incredibly frustrating journey. I mean, and it goes on for decades. These patients have suffered since puberty, a very sensitive age, been, you know, shamed or blamed and misdiagnosed by medical professionals. And they've suffered for many times decades with it. And most of the patients actually have sort of self-diagnosed themselves by the time they find me. I'm just confirming the diagnosis. So it's incredibly frustrating for patients. And many times when they find out about the diagnosis of this, and I call it the aha moment, they're filled with many different emotions. Sometimes it's joy and relief. Sometimes it's actually anger. And they get really, you know, resentful about having this diagnosis missed for so many years.
So they come to see you for hope and for help. And what results are you seeing?
Honestly, I say this to patients, it is almost always a life-changing result, not only in terms of how they look. You know, certainly there's huge improvements in how they look, but how they feel. You know, their pain is almost always gone. Their mobility is great. They send me pictures of dancing at their kid's wedding or going hiking, and that's incredibly heartwarming. They're also dealing with the fear of this disease getting worse, as it tends to as time goes on. They've looked at their mother or their grandmother, and they're kind of seeing that in themselves. They're concerned about it. So it's just incredibly transformative.
This is something that you've been working on in Los Angeles, but now right here in Murray. Why come to Utah?
Well, you know, I get asked that a lot. So a lot of reasons. So first of all, my wife's from Utah. We go skiing all the time in Park City and Deer Valley with my kids. Her family is out here, so that's one reason. We love Utah, but a lot of my patients come from, like I mentioned, all around the U.S. A lot come from Utah, Idaho, Texas, Colorado. You know, certainly East Coast. Utah's a little bit more accessible in a lot of ways. There's certainly easy access to it. It's maybe a little bit less intimidating than Beverly Hills to a lot of patients and families. So Utah is just a perfect thing. So we are so, you know, thrilled. We have a beautiful new medical center out here. We're right across from that historic, beautiful park.
That Wheeler Farm right there in
Wheeler
Murray.
Farm,
what a great location. And the best people are from Utah. I like your wife already.
Yeah, they really are. I mean, the people I see from just Utah are just wonderful people.
Thank you for coming to our state. And congratulations on that office that just opened, everybody. Dr. David Amron joining us on the show. If you'd like more information, look at your screen. He's at the Roxbury Institute. And you can go to that website, anything on social media, and of course, as always, a link at abc4.com. Doctor, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much, Nisha.